Much weight.
Chanel, I have a question.
What's up?
Have you ever felt lonely in your entrepreneurial ventures and journey?
Listen, that is such a real feeling, especially as a Black woman, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as a kingdom woman trying to level up and move forward in my life.
Listen, the interesting thing is I hear that from so many different women.
Yeah.
So I thought it was the perfect timing for us to collaborate our entrepreneurial success and the things that we've learned along the way for kingdom women specifically.
Listen, I'm so excited about this.
So that's right. You guys are able to sign up today, starting in October, our specific membership group where you'll have access to our knowledge on branding, marketing, how to sell, how to pitch yourself, how to,
apply the Bible to your business,
applying the Bible to your business, corporate fast, like all of those things.
Exercise your faith, so many different things.
And above all, Chanel, it's great to have an accountability group.
Listen, I'm really excited to be a part of a group of a bunch of people that look like me and we're all trying to get to the same place.
And listen, and the fact that we're coming together doing it, I say this humbly, I've been thriving in full-time entrepreneurship for some years now.
Yeah.
You've generated millions for the sports industry.
Yes.
We have so many different skill sets that we're going to offer.
Yeah. We're two separate powerhouses and we're coming together to build this membership for you all.
Not only from a business and physical, natural standpoint, but also a spiritual standpoint.
Yes.
I can't wait to get into the word
I'm excited.
entrepreneurship.
I'm excited.
The word and entrepreneurship together, Chanel.
Listen.
In a membership group.
Listen.
Girl. I'm ready. So if you guys are ready for our group that starts in October, please make sure that you click the link in our show notes and we can't wait to see y'all.
Cannot wait.
Period.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Friday. You are now listening to the Double Dose Podcast, brought to you by your new twin besties, Shonda
and Chanel.
Listen, we are bringing to you a double dose of life, culture, and Jesus every single Friday.
All the things. We're truly excited. And listen, we have an A1 guest here.
You forgot
today.
the tagline.
Oh, what is? I'm sorry.
We are one set of twins
with two different perspectives.
All right. All right, go ahead.
Y'all, we have an A1 guest here. Definitely a friend of the pod. Definitely a friend, somebody that we've been following for the past couple of years. Big shout out to Pastor Adrian Davis.
Hey, wait, where the air at?
Those are the hand claps of praise that we just
claps of praise. Amen.
The hand claps of praise. That's hilarious.
How are you, Pastor AD?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're
doing
good.
well. Adjusting to this DC fall weather.
Yes, it's getting cold outside.
Yes.
So, but how fast did it start to get cold? Because it seemed like as soon as it was like the first day of fall, it was like the temperature dropped.
Facts.
Dropped.
That's exactly what happened.
Listen, but we were in Atlanta over the weekend. Mm-hmm. It was hot, and then we just came back, and now it's hoodie season.
Can we talk about how I wore a sweater dress in Atlanta, thinking that it would
that was ridiculous.
It would work for the fall, but it was hot.
We were in Atlanta. We were in Atlanta.
Sweating.
Yeah, it was cute though. It was cute though.
I was so.
But that's the rule of thumb. Like, like for some outfits, you just gotta endure.
Yeah, you just gotta make it work, right?
You just have to endure. Like
exactly. How's LA though?
Oh, I can't complain, man. LA is amazing. I love LA. I tell people this all the time, man. Like, I love LA. I feel like I'm supposed to be here for this season of my life, but I question if LA loved me back. So,
Okay.
But the weather is amazing. The scenery is amazing. I literally, like, if I feel like I'm getting a little down or whatever, I can literally just go outside and it lifts me up immediately.
Love that.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love LA. So the weather's beautiful today. The sun is out. The palm trees are just blowing. Everything's going good.
I love that. Can we talk about how we were just in LA a couple weeks ago?
We were.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that.
But no. Let me get to my story. I was walking through LAX and you know how the airport has those TVs?
Yeah.
Like when you're walking through? On the TV screen, I see Pastor Adrian Davis.
That's not surprising.
I'm
He be
like,
everywhere.
okay, I knew
Look,
I didn't know he was that famous.
I was on a Saturday night minding my own business, and on Saturdays I love to watch Tubi.
Yeah,
I love to watch.
listen,
Tubi.
that
I'm
too.
watching Tubi, and I'm like, is that Pastor AD on TV?
Well, listen. So for the both of you, for one, someone was just here, and then she texted me like, "Oh, I didn't know you was this famous. You in the airport." I'm like, "Where airport you at?" She like, "I'm in LAX." I was like, "Oh, so you came to LA? Didn't say what's up? Didn't say hey, dog, cat, nothing? Didn't say? Just didn't want to say nothing? Okay, cool, I got it." But no, so like,
I know.
that was actually an interview. I went back and I looked at the picture. I'm like, wait a minute, why was I in the airport on the screen? I'm like, I hope I wasn't doing nothing wrong or nothing. But no, that was an interview. They actually interviewing me about the podcast studio that I had, and then also being just doing content, and then the challenging part about doing content and the downfalls of it, and then social media, because I have a love and hate relationship with social media. You know what I'm saying?
Same, you and me both.
And I think majority of people that do content, that have podcasts, that talk to people, are front facing brands for people. We all have a love hate relationship with it. So I had to go back, and I was like, I remember that. And then the Tubi situation, I'm actually going to be in 2 more movies that roll out this year.
That's awesome! Congratulations.
Yeah, before the end of the year is out. So yeah, it's great. It's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So are we invited to the premiere? Like, we can do press on the red carpet?
Well, here's the thing. As long as y'all come and y'all at least speak, because last time, I mean, how y'all gonna be on the red carpet and don't even want to talk to me? So I don't but no, I definitely let y'all know. Soon as
Please
I know,
do.
I'm gonna let y'all know.
Please let us know. We definitely would love
Yeah.
that. We definitely love that. We love being in the LA streets.
We do.
Well, so LA streets are a little different from DC streets. I love DC. Like my brother's there. And every time I come to DC, and for those that know I'm working on a documentary called Brilliant Boy, talking about the systematic racism in the field of education for Black boys, and how Black boys learn and how we process. And so we took 80 boys this year in April. We took 80 boys to Europe. We took them to Madrid, Paris, and London. And so the school that we're highlighting is in DC. So every time I come to DC, man, I love it. I got to hit U Street. I got to hit a few brunches. I got to, just DC just has Black culture.
Yes.
It just
It's
has
very Black
culture. And
Black.
and I don't know, I honestly believe, and this is, not to be too deep or to be too spiritual, but I believe that cities have ancestry roots, and you feel that, you legit feel that. And when I'm in DC, I just feel so proud to be Black.
Yes.
Every time I go to DC, I just feel good. It's all right, cool. It's a great feeling to be there. The go-go music there, I love that. And just the energy in DC is amazing.
The culture is definitely different. I love
the culture is different. I tell people, when you come to LA, the feeling, if you are an ambitious person, you're gonna feel that. You feel
that's so true.
Yeah, you feel like when I moved to LA, I was like, every day, I still to this day, I wake up, I'm like, today could be the day. And I don't know what that entails. It's just you just you could be. How I got the Tubi role, the first Tubi role for Stepmother 2. I was invited to a music video shoot, and I went. And I was like, hey, I want to introduce you to this person. I go, and the person I'm being introduced to, we're standing over here having a conversation. Another guy sees me, and he walks over to me. He was like, hey, you're an actor? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you got to look. He was like, hey, I'm going to send you. He said, I want you to audition for something. And I was like, okay. He was like, so I would love to, get you on tape. And so I sent it to my agent, and then my agent was like, yo, do it. And so they sent me the script. I did I auditioned for the role, and the role I auditioned for, I didn't get. They gave me a bigger role. And so that's how that happened. It's just, when you are in the right place at the right time type of situation. But that's what you feel in LA. You feel that ambition. You feel like, yo, like today could be the day for something amazing. So I feel like every city has like its own feel, or every every area has its own feel.
I love that.
Let's talk about the favor of God. Like you auditioned for one role, but then you ended up getting a bigger role. And this wasn't because.
But I say this though, it comes with a lot of rejection. Like people,
for sure.
Like I can't tell you how many self-tapes I've done, you know, and like the number is crazy. I know it's well over 400, like well over.
Wow.
And so you audition for that, audition. And then the thing is, like, you don't get an email back. You don't get a call. They don't hit your agent back. They do nothing. They they ghost you. Like it's like, yeah, all right, whatever. But like for those moments right there, like when you get discouraged, you know, and like you said, you know, you tap into the favor of God and be like, man, like the favor of God was on me for that. And it was something I didn't even have to, I worked for sure. Yeah. But I may not have worked in this particular area. And what I love about like God is that we don't always reap where we sow, we reap what we sow. And so it may just come from a different place, you know, but it's what we've been sowing. I was sowing in all of those areas for self-tapes after self-tape after self-tape. And I was thinking it was going to come this way. And then God does it a totally different way. And so I think that's why like God doesn't allow us to marry methods. So he's like, yo, I'm not predictable. You can't predict how I'm going to bless you. You can't predict how I'm going to open up that door. You just know I'm going to open up that door because I've shown you that. But I'm going to open it the way I want to open it, because if I open it the way that you think, then you think you got me figured out. And so you would do it this way all the time so that the door will automatically open. No, I'm going to do it different. And so he's done everything with me in acting, me in producing, me in directing. He's done it all from an unconventional way, like totally different than what I thought it would be.
I love that flex.
So dope. Yeah.
Actor, producer, director.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because you a comma.
I'm a comma. That's it. Like, I'm not, you know, like people love to put a period after, and usually it's a level of comfortability. Like people get comfortable seeing you in one particular area and they're like, okay, you're always going to be this. And not understanding there's so much more to each and every one of us. And I think that that was one of the things, like I deal with anxiety a lot. And one of the things that helps me to process my anxiety is to not in life feel like, you know, we have this thing where it's like, oh, I'm seeking my purpose. But what if our purpose is so multifaceted and there's so many aspects of our lives that we are called, and that is purpose. Even being on this podcast is purpose. You guys doing a podcast is purpose, but it always leads to something else, but it's purpose for that particular moment. And I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to find that one thing. No, like, you can be this and that. It doesn't have to be this or that. Yeah.
Facts.
So how do you handle being put in that box? Because honestly, I feel like I'm put in a box all the time.
People try to put me in a box.
Like, especially as a psychologist, people put me in this academic box. 100% of the time.
Yeah. Even in the church world, like I feel like for a long time people put us in the box of like the church. Like we was on mad church flyers for so long, and now people seeing us with Revolt and stuff, and they just like, whoa, where did this come from? So
but like that, but that stuff was always, I think that stuff was always in the both of you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just now I think the courage to step out there and to do it and to for lack of better terms, not care. Like, and I think it's hard because like even pastoring, like, you know, people will be like, oh, like you pastor a church, you're going to do that. And majority of the time, how we looked at pastoring is we get a pastor, they serve as a pastor until they get very old and die.
Yes.
Or they're very old and then the church, everybody leaves the church decreases, and then they get a young person in after that person retires, and then that person has to revive it. And so it's, you know, I think that we have to understand like there's purposes for seasons, and how I had to look at it to answer your question is I had to look at it like for not to be put in the box by people. For one, E. Dewey Smith came on the Commerce podcast, and he said, we were having this conversation. He said, boxes are for things and not people. And when he said that, Pastor E. Dewey Smith, when he said, I was like, man, like, that's so true. And I told him, I was like, man, and this is off camera. And I was like, yo, I said, what I had to realize is that for, people put you in a box according to the season that you're in, but it's like a gardener. When a gardener goes and he is tilling the soil to plant the seed, like, at first he has to go buy the seed, right? So it's like he has money, he goes and buys the seed. What if he spends his last money on buying that seed? So now he goes through a season of being broke, but he has a bag full of seed. Then that's purpose, right? The purpose for that money was to buy the seed. So before he buys the seed, he had a lot of money. So let's say some people met him when he had money. So they freeze him in. Oh, that's the money farmer. So now they freeze him there. Then he goes and then he's broke, but he got seed. So now it's like, oh, he the broke farmer. They'll freeze him there. Then he goes and he tills the soil and he plants all the seed. And then for that season, he has nothing. He has no money. He has no seed, but he got something in the ground. All of it is purpose. And for every area of his life, he's going to meet people, or she's going to meet people during that season, and people are going to try to keep them there. But now, like, I can't just be that one particular thing. You don't even see what's happening in the ground, because every seed, when it's placed in the ground, it's a place of death. The seed has to die to itself for it to reap, for it to harvest. So every phase of his life, you know what I'm saying? Like, every phase, every part was purpose. The harvest is just not the purpose. The process is the purpose. So that's all purpose too. If we don't find the purpose in buying the seed, and if we don't find purpose in tilling the soil, and if we don't find purpose in sowing the seed, then reaping the harvest is going to be what we celebrate, but we're not even going to write about the journey or find purpose in those things. And so you're going to be miserable throughout the whole process until you reap the harvest. No, I'm not going to live life for, 99 years and, get to 100 and then be like, oh, I've reached my destination. I'm so
right.
I'm going to enjoy the purpose along the way. So not being put in that box is just for me, just the ability to keep going and keep trying and keep growing, and dealing with the fact that, all of this stuff God put inside of me. Like, I didn't ask God for this when I was born. I didn't ask God to put some desires I just innately had. Some things I just innately had. And I ask people all the time, like, what do you naturally gravitate towards? Because certain things, it's certain dreams that you've tried to get away from. Certain things you wanted to get away from, you just couldn't shake. And that's because God placed it there. And so I think we do a disservice to God by trying to be one thing to please other people when we're called to be more than that. So like in psychology or in sports and all of that stuff, like, don't shortchange yourself, because there's so much more that, that you all do than just those particular things. So it's like, why not? Like,
That's a whole word. The process is a part of the purpose.
And
it is like, and I think we lose that though. I think we get so enamored with the goal that we forget the journey is a part of the process too.
I would say even as a creative, I probably struggle with that as well. And I think, you remind me of that all the time.
Yeah.
Like being so caught up in like, all right, what's next? What's the next destination?
Right.
Where's the next contract coming from? And you're not enjoying like the right now. There were a few times over the weekend you had to kind of like continue to ground me. We were at Revolt World. Yeah. And you was like, yo, we're at Revolt World. Like, can you just enjoy the moment?
Invited by them. They're special guests in VIP, eating the food with the people. Like,
but I'm worried about, all right, what's my next contract? What am I about to do? Like, what I got going on next week? And she like, you literally just took a picture with the CEO. Like, calm down.
He knew us when we walked up to him. Like,
he was like twins.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm gonna tell you, like, I struggle with that too. I think when you are creative, and that's for one, to have you guys balance each other out like that, I think is great. And I think that we all need people in our lives that remind us, like, hey, remember where you at right now.
Right.
Like, because even when I got to LA, it was like, oh, I got to be doing this. I got to be doing this. And I got to be doing this. And I told one of my closest friends out here, I was like, bro, I said, like, sometimes I just got to pause and remember, like, I'm in LA. Like, go to the beach, bro. Like, go drive down Pacific Coast Highway and be in Malibu for a minute. Like, do you not know people would love to just live here? People are fighting to get here, and you're here and you're overlooking it because you're trying to think about the next thing. And I remember one time, and I was I was in a low place, and I was thinking about the next thing. And I was just in prayer, and I remember the Lord speaks to me kind of like in analogies, right? I teach in analogies, I talk in analogies, and the Lord was like, I remember, I never forget, it was a Wednesday, and so it was like 9:00 at night, and I was sitting in my living room, TV off. I'm just sitting there, just thinking, and I'm looking out the window, and I was like, man, I really got to get this for next week, and I really got to get this for next month, because we get so caught up in what we got to pay, our lifestyle, what we're going to do, our own visions and dreams and things of that nature. And the Lord was like, yep, that sounds good. And he was like, so what if tonight I chose to come back?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, end of the world. Like, it is what it is. He was like, and then you get to heaven, or you die and you get to heaven, and I ask you, how did you spend your Wednesday? And then not just your Wednesday, but your last day on earth. And my response is, I spent it thinking about Thursday, or I spent it thinking about next month, or I spent it thinking about a year from now. And then he tells me, you were thinking about a day that was never ordained in my purpose for you in the first place.
Mm.
So you wasted your last day thinking about a day that was never supposed to even come.
Wow.
And then what it did for me, it made me realize all I have is right now. That's all I got. Like, and a lot of times I get so my father was this way. My father lived in a place of strong regret. So every time I would talk to my father, he would always go back to past stuff. Oh, son, I wish I could have did, or oh, I wish I would have been there. So it was hard for us to even develop a relationship before he passed away, a stronger relationship before he passed away, because all we would talk about was the past. And it was like, okay, the past is done. Then, so the past is over with, but majority of the time, the past is trying to pull us back into thinking what we should have changed, what we should have did. And in the future is so far ahead, but we're like, yo, I want to get there. And then all we have is right now. Neither one of these places we don't live in. All we have is right now. And so we will mismanage the right now, thinking about the past or thinking about the future so much. And so I was like, yo, like, I just want to try to be more present. That's the challenge for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being
That's the
present is
goal.
definitely a challenge.
For me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you guys, like you said Revo World, and living in the present, like living in the moment. Like right now, we're having a great time. We're having great experiences. We're meeting great people. And these people that now, I just got an alert from Revo. Now, what's up with that? But literally, like, you're right there living in that moment, and you could meet somebody in that moment that could be the key for the next. But if we mismanage the right now because we're thinking about what we are to do, we're not even present in the moment to give them everything that we have to show them how beneficial we can be to the future.
That part. Bars.
So it's like, yo, like, all we have is right. Like, I really want us to understand. All we got is right now.
All we have is right now.
All we have is right now. It ain't about what you did 2 years ago. It ain't about what you're going to do 2 years from now. All we have is right now. That's it.
I think living in that state of anxiety can be so crippling too, because it really comes from a place of fear, like
the unknown.
Like not being able to tolerate, like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen next. Let me try and figure it out in my head now.
And not being able to like control.
But that's literally like a lack of faith. Literally is.
That's the truth, because it's our love to be in control.
Yes.
But the reality is we're not in control.
Right.
No.
We're not. We're, we really are not. I think that's the reality check that we need to have. We're not in control. We make, we try to make good decisions and wise decisions.
Yeah.
Even in my life, like I've made some terrible decisions. I've done some things that just like, I'm like, oh, like you should have did better with that. But also at the same time,
Like what? Can we get in your business real quick?
yeah, for sure. I'm a transparent person.
Okay.
I feel like even when I left pastoring, I feel like I should have did that better. I was following the instructions of other people, and I should have listened to what God was telling me and how He was telling me to do it, because it's how you leave a thing that matters too. And but also at the same time, I don't want to, because a lot of times, like, people think that when you're explaining something, you're trying to give an excuse of something, and that's not. Those two are not the same. So for me, I was just and I'm still not in a fully recovered state, but from my from my stepfather, my father, then my older brother, my uncle, and then my little brother, all passing away in a 3-year span.
Oh, wow.
So for me, my father, my stepfather, and my brother, they passed away in a 8-month span. So I did not take the time that I needed to grieve. I preached all of their funerals, and after their funerals, that following Sunday, I was back in my pulpit, and not taking that time. And then it made me, I always had I always had a problem with getting close or getting very, very close to people, because I would always feel like people would leave me. And so it made me scared all the time, and now this is going to turn into a counseling session. So this is going to be right up your alley. You're going to be like, yes, I'm going to diagnose him right now. But, so I always had this disattachment thing with me, and how I left things, or how I would, I'm just, like, no, I'm done. Like, I can't do that no more. But for a year, I was coasting on muscle memory. Like, I knew how to pastor. I had pastored for 10 years. I knew how to preach. I did it 4 times a week for 10 years. I knew how to do it. So it was like I was coasting on muscle memory. But then when COVID hit, and I couldn't mask me being whole by working. That's what I was doing. Like, I was like, I was okay, because I was just working. I was busy. So a lot of times, like, we think that we're healed, but you're just putting a lot of busyness in it. Like, you ain't even sitting with your emotions long enough. Yeah, so when COVID hit and I wasn't traveling and preaching anymore, man, that thing hit me like grief finally caught up to me. It was like, it was like right behind me, and then it finally hit me. And so when I disconnected, or when I met with my leaders, told my leaders, hey, I'm stepping down. They understood. They were, and we did a whole offboarding process, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, I'm gone by. We knew months ahead of time before it happened. But I still feel like I could have done it better. I still feel like I could have communicated it more. Because I love those people. It was a gear in me that I felt like I couldn't hit anymore. So as a disservice, I felt like I was doing them a disservice by being in a position that I knew that I could not, I just couldn't do it. And so I felt like I was shortchanging them, my ability to, because I was like I was a pastor. Like, I would go to the hospital. I would be at baby, I did baby dedications. When people had babies, I was there at the hospital. When people died, I was there to see them, pass away. I was that type of pastor. So when I felt like I couldn't do that anymore, I felt like I was being a disservice, and I should have, and I could have handled it a lot better as far as like my ability to communicate. But because of my level of, living in just what I was dealing with. And, people call it, people may say, oh man, like that's selfish or whatever the case is. But the reality of it is like, yo, like when you're in that moment and you're thinking about just trying to survive, you're in survival mode and you're trying to keep your head above water. A lot of times, like you would just latch on to anything thinking that it's going to save you. And so I just would have handled it. I just would have handled it a lot differently. I would have handled it more mature. In hindsight, everything's 2020, but I just would have handled it a lot better.
We definitely appreciate your transparency.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, because I think so many people can be blessed and experience healing in their own right when hearing about other people who could have handled situations a bit better, because the reality is we're human.
Yeah. Like and I think that a lot of times with the church, in the church world, we forget that we're human. Like, especially when you're in a role of, and you guys know this, when you're in a role of leadership, your mother was a leader for years. When you're in a role of leadership, people then put leadership above humanity.
For sure.
So we forget that you feel how we feel, you bleed how we bleed, you cry how we cry, you deal with emotions how we deal with emotions. And I think a lot of times, like, we don't give grace to leaders. And that's why, like, now, like, when people, I was in Oakland this past weekend, and this lady comes up to me. She was like, "Pastor AD, oh my God, like, I want to take a picture with you. I'm so glad to meet you." I was in the airport, and I was like, "Oh, like, hey, nice to meet you too." And then she was like, "I can't wait to tell everybody I met Pastor AD." I was like, "You can just call me Adrian." And she was just like, "What?" I'm like, "You can just call me Adrian. Like, I'm Adrian. Like, if you feel comfortable calling me Pastor AD, that's cool. But you don't, we don't have to overemphasize that, because what I realize is that a lot of times people will call you that to show a level of leadership, but they'll highlight that if you don't do what they feel that they like you should have done. So if you fall, that almost comes like almost like a taunting type of thing. Yeah, this pastor, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to take the human feeling out of that. So when they put the title there, it's like, "Oh, you're a pastor, but you're not human." I'm like, yo, like, I'm Adrian. I mean, I appreciate Pastor AD. I mean, I've served, and I still preach, and I still love God, but I'm human, and we have feelings, and we hurt, and we make decisions, and we fail, and we get up and we try again, and all of those things. But I think a lot of times, like, we put such an emphasis on their title, and it's almost like a mocking thing, like, like, "Oh, I'm putting emphasis on his title because he not operating like that, or
right?
He not doing that." It's like, yeah, like, no, I just be like, "Yo, I'm Adrian. Like, we can highlight it, but we ain't got to highlight it."
I think that's so weird when people do that, but
it
really goes
to when we introduced you, we did call you Pastor AD. So what do you want to be called?
Listen, you can just call me Adrian. I'm Adrian.
Okay.
Like, now, of course, like, I will be Pastor AD to some people for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Because of what I've been to them. And then I'll be Pastor AD for a lot of other people for the rest of their lives, because they want to say, "Oh yeah, like that pastor."
Okay.
So for me, like, my mama named me Adrian. What I'm saying? My mama named Adrian, I'm gonna call him Adrian. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, like to me, Adrian, people call me AD, Pastor AD. I'm fine with it all. But how she just kept saying, like, "I can't believe I met the pastor. I can't believe I'm like, yeah, like, nah, it's okay. Like, because for one, I've never been caught up on that ever. Like, because I just feel like I didn't ask to be chosen. I didn't ask to preach. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to pastor. I didn't want to do any of that. So I just committed to being obedient to whatever God told me to do. And so I didn't ask for it, so I don't brag about it. This is what it is.
Yeah.
I like that.
How did you know when, like, your season to pastor was coming to And like, how did you make that transition?
Yeah. For that was probably to date, outside of the, outside of all the deaths, probably that was probably the hardest decision to date that I've ever had. I knew I sat in the seat for 2 years, wrestling with God about me leaving. Because when you put your heart, your blood, sweat, and tears into something, building something, trying to get it to a certain point, whatever the case is, um, it's hard to leave it. But I legit knew, like, the Lord just kept telling me, like, hey, now, it's, hey, you got to make the transition. You got to make the transition. There are other things that I want to do with you in other places that I want to, I want to take you. And it's going to be hard for you to be in this place of being here and pastoring for what I want to do. And so I wore it for 2 years. Like, and the phrase is delayed obedience is disobedience, right? And so, but he did give me grace. I feel like he gave me grace to ease my emotions for what I knew was the inevitable. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, no matter what you try to do, because I kept trying to create things to make me stay, in Huntsville. I tried to keep creating spaces and places. So I launched the sneaker store. Then, we started building a restaurant before I left. And, that's up and running now, but it wasn't before I left. And so I was trying to find things to do that would make me think like this is going to make me fall in love with, serving the city all over again type of situation. And it just wasn't working. And again, I could get up and I could preach, and because it's God, it's not me. God will use what's available to him.
Exactly.
But also at the same time, I was, no lie to tell y'all, like, I was going home. My, if Drew, my head armor bearer, that's still my guy. That's my right hand. He would tell you, like, I would get done preaching, and normally what I would do when I'm done preaching, both services, I would go down to the front. I would hug everybody I wanted to hug. I love kids. I would talk to kids, babies, do all of that stuff. But I started to grow callous. And so I would do it, but the same enthusiasm wasn't there. And then we would get in the car and he'll be driving the SUV to take me home, and I'd be in the back seat bawling my eyes out. My daughter be in the front seat like, Dad, you okay? I just be like, I just be, every Sunday, I would just be crying. And because I felt like a shift was happening and it needed to happen. I just didn't know how it was going to happen. And I didn't want to let people down. And for me, I tell people this, like, you, at some point you hit a crossroads where you have to be more loyal to the assignment of God or the assignment of people. And if we make the wrong decision, it can change everything. And so for me, I was at a point where I was like, well, I got to be more loyal to what God wants me to do. And then deal with the misunderstanding of people, because I was such a people pleaser that I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted everybody to understand. I wanted everybody to understand my heart of why I'm doing what I'm doing or the decisions that I made. But everybody's not going to understand the decisions that you made, because you and God are not on a conference call. You and God have you and him conversation. And what he tells you is not for the public dissemination of everybody else. And so at some point you have to decide, like, I got to be obedient to God. And so for me, it just hit that point after 2 years, like I had to make that decision. But I felt it for 2 years. I was disobedient for 2 years. I was trying to fight it for 2 years, but I just couldn't do it anymore.
I think that when we talk about like the obedience to the assignment, so many people do become like connected to like, okay, well, what will the people think? Like, being connected, like you said, to the assignment of the people. How can people kind of like get to the space where they're dedicated to what God wants them to do, as opposed to the opinions of the people?
That's a great question. It's crazy because I just answered this. I do like a call, like a free Zoom call for people on Mondays called Mentorship Mondays.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
somebody asked me this question on yesterday. They said, "Yo, how do I get out of serving or doing for everybody else?" And I said, that is a continuously practiced behavior. For me, it was, and it's something you're going to have to continuously address. And then the challenging part is majority of people, especially in church, we find identity by serving other people.
So
And
true.
when we should serve through our identity.
Hmm.
So if you ask them, hey, what do you do? They immediately start telling you, or like, who are you? They'll tell you what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so who are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself. We'll start rattling off all the stuff that we do
Mm-hmm.
because it's our service to other people. Like, oh, I do this. And if you think about it, everything that we say that we do is doing for somebody else.
That is
But
so
Yes.
true.
it's
Very
like-
much
it's
true.
we'd be like, yeah, I preach,
Yep.
I pastor, I I lead, or I do this, and cool. But what do you do for you?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that finding out, and how we break that, I think is finding out our identity. And then once we find our identity within ourselves, then we serve from that place
Mhm.
of our identity because it becomes more authentic. It becomes more genuine. One of the things that, people can say a litany of things about me, positive, negative, whatever the case is. But one of the things that I try to pride myself on is like when people meet me, they meet a genuine person. And I just want to be genuine. I want to be authentic. I'm not going to front like I got something or I don't or whatever. I'm just going to tell you really what it is. And so but I've come to that place within my own identity. And I've come to the place after being removed for 3 years from senior pastoring. I was like, I no longer want anything that feels the need of performance in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to perform anymore. I don't want to, if this is how I feel, this is how I feel. And I have the right to communicate that. And there'll be some people that don't understand it. There'll be some people that be like, that's crazy. But this is how I feel. It is what it is. And so embracing that and stop trying to find identity from serving, but find identity and then serve from that place.
I think
I love
that's
that.
that's an amazing response.
So, like, along those same lines, like, you went through this process where you had to redefine your identity, right? You had to redefine who you are. So who would you say is Adrian? Who is Adrian?
Man, I'll say I'm still learning. I'm like like over this past year, I have started to identify with my own identity, and part of that is so many things. That's why when we say like I'm a comma, I really like that's my brand. That's who I am. But like I'm a creative. I'm a speaker. I'm a philanthropist. I am all around. I love everything creative. Like I'm an artist. I draw. I love to create. I'm silly. I'm love to have a good time. I love to travel and all those things. So those are things that I enjoy doing. But there's also a part of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But because even the word a human being, it's the ability to keep being, but you are still becoming. And so even in identity, I think that we still are growing in that place. And for the identity for me right now, like how I'm serving people is that I'm serving people through my level of growth and my level of honesty and my level of transparency of failed, horrible decisions or great places too, because I don't want to be so hard on myself to where it's like, yo, like, you didn't do everything right, but no, you did some things absolutely amazing. And so for me now, I'm still learning and I'm still leaning into that, but it's a gradual thing. And so for me, I think my overall identity of where I am right now is just, I want to be authentic and I want to be genuine.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm here
So
for it.
that's
I'm
me.
here for it.
I got a question for y'all though.
What's the question?
And actually it may be a couple of questions because it may like segue into, but I want to know, because I have always growing up, I've always wanted a twin, right? I always wanted a twin because I always want to see like what it felt like to have a twin. But this is my question. How many times do y'all fight? This,
we
The
argue,
world.
yeah,
we argue like regular siblings.
sisters, yeah.
regular sibling arguments.
Yeah.
What's the longest length of time that y'all have gone without speaking to each other?
Probably like a day.
Yeah, probably a day or two.
Yeah, a day or two.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, I did not talk to my family for I think that's a twin bond. So I have twins that are like distant cousins in my family, Anton and Andrew, and I asked them that same question. I was like, "What's the longest that y'all have went without speaking to each other?" They was like, "Oh, probably like a day." And I'm thinking, like,
that's not normal.
no, man. Let me tell you something. Like me and my sister, we'll have it out, and we really don't have it out like that. Like, but we'll just get quiet, and then it'll be like a week. And then yeah, and then she either send me a funny something from Instagram or a video or something, or I do that to her, and it kind of break the ice, and we start talking again. But I don't know. I just think twins have a different bond.
I agree with that.
Yeah, for example, my older brother that passed away, he was 3 years older than me. My sister's, there's a 6-year difference between her and I. Then my little brother, there is a 9-year difference between he and I. Now he's passed away too, but it's just like with those gaps, like, I think the bond is strong because me and my sister are amazing. But also at the same time, I think that there's just a different bond because you all have experienced your entire lives together.
Yeah.
Literally from birth.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like literally from birth. So like it always, that's a question I always like ask twins, like, what's the longest y'all went without speaking to each other? And then, growing up, or, like when y'all have arguments, like how that works, because it's different. It's different. I just know how I operate with my siblings, but I'm different because I'm a little weird. So, I'd be wanting to know that.
Yeah, I don't think
I think it's pretty.
I thought that was normal, though,
I know.
like a day or two.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I just know my family. Maybe, maybe other people can chime in and say, how long if they get into it with their brothers and sisters, how long they go without talking to them. But
yeah,
a day ain't long.
It's not.
No,
it's not long.
That's
not long at all. Like okay, like y'all have a disagreement and then y'all don't talk for a day. Then next day it's like, okay, like that's one day. Like, come on, that ain't long. Like, like no, but it just I think it goes to the strength of you all's bond, and I think that's amazing though. Like because I think a lot of people desire that, and not necessarily desire twins like I was saying, but desire a bond with someone that if I go longer than a day without talking to you, I feel that there's a void in my life.
Yeah,
that's facts.
That is facts.
Yeah.
People desire that, and I would say they desire a twin too, because twins are cool.
Twins are cool.
Twins are super cool. Yo, we was at I'm gonna tell a story real quick.
Which one?
We were at Revolt World, and we were like, what was the section called? The VIP.
Yeah,
it was backstage, like, where all the talent was,
yeah.
right? Okay. And so basically, like, everybody's back there, everybody who's speaking, performing, blah, 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 or whatever. And so the security guard walks up to us. He was like, "Oh my gosh, y'all are like those twins." Like, yeah, we twins.
Like, yeah, we the twins. Those twins.
My wife is gonna flip when she finds out I met y'all. Okay. What twins do he think we are?
He don't know who we are.
But that just proves how cool twins are. Okay. Like, you don't have to, like.
But you gonna tell him what he called his wife?
So did he thought y'all was Tia and Tamara?
I guess so.
We get that though.
Yeah.
Somehow people think that
somebody else asked us that too.
Funny Marco.
Yeah. Funny Marco. Y'all don't twin? No, we not.
Yeah, like I think that I can see that. I can see you guys being mistakes for that. But the thing about twins is that have y'all ever, here's another question. Have y'all ever used your twin benefits in school, like growing up, or in a relationship?
What are twin benefits in a relationship?
Twin benefits in a relationship is like if you tried to get over on somebody, like if you felt like he was doing something or your partner was doing something, and then you tried to play him some type of way.
Like same girl? Like
I
the video?
I mean, like, well, let's just take relationship off the table.
Okay.
let's take that off. But all right, like in school, like if one of you all was better at math than the other person, than the other sister, did you go take a test for your sister?
I never
No,
took
we
a
never switched
test.
classes.
I sat in one of your classes before.
Which one?
It was like an economics class. This was in college.
Did I send you there?
I don't remember, but I remember being in her class, like an economics class.
Was I there?
I don't remember. I
But-
just remember, yeah.
But then they thought it was your sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's just I'm gonna ask it's two things that I'm gonna ask the Lord when I get there. One, why he didn't give me the ability to sing. Two, why he didn't give me a twin. Because
I feel like the answer to both of those questions is the Lord is trying to keep you saved.
What does that
If you knew how to sing, like I don't know if
I mean, definitely. I tell people this all the time. If I could sing, I'll be grinding on somebody's daughter every day, singing. I don't have a lot to tell y'all. I ain't got, listen. I told you I don't live in that performance based stuff no more. Listen, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, if I could sing, out of here, out of here. Out of here. Church where? Preach what? Out of here. But I'm gonna ask him because I'm like, I mean, you gave other people that gift, and they not in church, so why not me? I guess he was more concerned about my soul, I guess.
That's what it is.
I feel like he does withhold some things
Yeah.
in order to keep us humble and safe.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Man, like that, but that. I got an alt with the Lord about that. I really do because I feel like, you know, every time I listen to great singers and I love music. It's my favorite thing. And I'm listening to all of these amazing singers. I watched Dang on Tank make up a song on the spot last night. Like he doing an interview with K. Michelle and she was like, make up a song. He makes up a song and he just running and riffing. And I'm just like, so you just couldn't give me an ounce of just a little bit. But he like, yeah, but you right, because he's like, if I gave you that,
You be out here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pastor who? Pastor where?
Listen, for real. Like, but I just feel like he gave some pastors the ability to really, really sing. They can sing. How come I couldn't? Well, I guess he knew my tolerance level because I wouldn't. Okay. All right. I'm getting deliverance right now.
That's how it works sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real. But I really like I used to be one of the twins so bad. I just think I used to think it was so cool, like when twins dressed alike at school and did all of that stuff, and I'd be like, man. And then you know, I had my older brother. My older brother didn't live in the same house as me. And so then 6 years later, my sister comes along. And then like I still wanted the twins. So I used to resent my sister and be like, man, you suck. And now she like my best friend. So it's all good. It worked out.
Do y'all look alike?
Me and my sister do not look alike. I look identical to my mother. My sister is identical to my father. It's so weird. Like me my mom, people joke all the time, my mom is me with a wig on. For real. Like
so funny.
no joke. Like me and my like my mom, I call my mama, we FaceTime, she be like, hey twin. Now that is my twin. But me and my sister don't look alike. My older brother, we really didn't look alike either. So I just wanted that so bad. I just, I used to, and the Lord really had to the Lord deals with me on like my jealousy and all of that stuff. Because people don't like to be honest. You ever look at somebody and you be like, man, look at them. and they ain't did nothing to you. You just get mad a little bit. They speak to you, be like, what's up? You be like, man, shut up. Under your breath, but then you speak, you be like, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, I used to be like that with Anton and Andrew, and then I pastored two twins, Justin and Julian. They Birmingham, and when I was in Huntsville, now one of them is in Birmingham, the other one I think is off in school in Virginia. But like, even talking to them, I would ask them all types of questions all the time, and they would be like, "Why are you so intrigued about twins?" I was like, "I always wanted to be one."
That's funny.
I mean, yeah, twins are cool.
We are the wave. Did you get a little bit jealous when you first met us? Like,
yep, I did. I didn't like y'all. I didn't like y'all. So now after this interview, because I only follow one of y'all on Instagram on purpose. So now I gotta go follow.
You have to now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to do you like that. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm only gonna see one because seeing y'all together just bothers me.
That's shady. That's shady. Oh my gosh. Let deliverance be your portion on today, man of God.
No, I'm just really giving you a hard time, but I am gonna follow you though. For real. I'm really giving you a hard time though. But
he's serious. You don't follow me.
No. So I'm gonna tell you that
he follows me, so I'm good.
Yeah, I know. I follow you. I don't follow you, but see, here's the thing. When I met one of y'all first. I don't think I met y'all together. I don't think I met y'all at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met one of y'all, and then honestly, when I followed, I felt like y'all were the same person.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah. Like, no, like for real. Like, so when I followed you, then it was like, I think after some time, I think you put up a picture of the both of you, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's a twin. And then it was like, then I was like, oh, I don't like her, but no, but no. So I am gonna follow you though. It's just, I just listen. The Lord's still working. The Lord's still working.
He is. He is.
He's not. Listen. As long as he has work to do in me, then he won't let me die.
Huh? Say it again.
That's how I feel. Like, it's longevity. Like, as long as he got work to do in me, I can't die yet.
Period.
I was on the plane when I was coming from Oakland, like I was talking about earlier, and I was on the plane. And we started having some turbulence. The lady sitting next to me, she reached up, she grabbed my hand. She was like, "Ooh, I just got so nervous." I said, "Oh, calm down." She was like, "Why are you so calm?" I said, "I can't die yet. I got too much. The Lord still developing me. I can't die.
Come on.
She was like, I've never heard somebody say that before. I said, I can't. He still got some stuff I gotta see what the end of this gonna be. Like, I gotta see why I went through everything that I've been going through. Like, so until I can see why the end, like how this ends up, the Lord can't let me die.
Yeah.
I got a bulletproof vest on my life.
Come on.
He can't let me die. I got too much that I gotta see. I got too much that I gotta do. This documentary ain't out. Boys, these black boys still need that exposure. Things still have to be done, and there's things that he still needs to grow in me. It's still maturing that I have to do.
Yeah.
So I can't die yet.
That's facts.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
That's facts.
Well, Pastor AD.
Last question.
Oh, go ahead.
When you come to DC, do you have intentions of hitting us up, or did you plan to just do your thing and then head back out to LA?
I was gonna be just how y'all did me. Praise the Lord.
Wow.
Okay? I was what my plan was. I was gonna be either DCA, Reagan, whatever airport I'm gonna fly into, and I was gonna take a picture in the airport and say, "Hey DC." It was so much fun.
So petty.
So much fun. No,
That is so petty. You know, we're 15 minutes from DCA though.
I would, yes.
Listen, man. When I tell you, I would definitely. I'm definitely gonna let y'all know because it'll be. Wait a minute. Is it next month? It's between next month and what's next month? October.
Yes.
November. So it's either October or November. We have some more filming to do. Then I got to be back in December, which I absolutely don't want to go in December because it's gonna be so cold.
Very much so.
And that's one thing. My brother just embraces it. He loves it. He's just like, oh yeah, I'm used to it. Not me. Not me. The cold makes it. I like to be cold when I go to sleep so I can bundle up. But other than that, no. So I'm not looking forward to that in December. But I got to come in December as well. But I think I'm gonna let you know. I think the Lord is working on my heart in this area of forgiveness, and you know, I'm not going to do unto others as they have done unto me. I'm not going to repay evil with evil. So I am going to let y'all know when I'm coming.
Hey.
And then,
on-screen deliverance right there.
Yes.
You just witnessed it here, ladies and gentlemen. He just got delivered in the name of Jesus.
Listen, but I tell people, listen, we can have moments of deliverance, but your deliverance is only as strong as your decision. So if I make a different decision after this, I'm really not delivered.
All right. Petty.
But no, like I am gonna let y'all know. I am for sure. I am gonna let you know. I definitely gonna let y'all know because I would love for us to talk, and we can talk about this off of the pod, but for you guys to do some stuff even at the school with the documentary, and so like we're really working with the boys because the school is in Southeast, and so you know those boys that we took to Europe had never been. Majority of them had never been out of their ward.
Wow.
So to take them through the process of getting their passports, getting their luggage, teaching them how to pack, like it's stuff like it's stuff that we take for granted that we do that, and you know, and it was chaperones. Like it's so many facets of the story, but there were chaperones, teachers that work at the school, but had never been out of DC.
Wow.
And it was their first time traveling out of DC. And they, as grown men, were crying because they were being exposed to something totally different. They was like,
That's amazing.
never in a million years would I think that I would see the Eiffel Tower.
That is beautiful.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
It's amazing, man. It's one of the best things of my life so far that I'm working on. So so yeah, I ain't gonna do you like you did me. I'm definitely gonna let you know. You know, I ain't even gonna be funny like that, but I got you.
Good.
We would love to host you in our city.
We gonna see, because when I now don't be talking now we inside, because y'all travel a lot. So I don't even know if y'all don't even be there. But
you got to tell us in advance.
Yeah,
but yes, we will plan for it.
Nah, I don't believe that.
And we're gonna be outside.
That's what I was about to say. We got to be outside. We going to U Street. We going to, you know. I'm sorry. I'm
Is it not?
Most of y'all time.
No, good.
Because a place that I love in DC that we don't have out here on the West Coast, Matchbox Pizza.
I've never heard of Matchbox.
What?
It's on DoorDash.
No.
What?
And I love pizza. I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of Okay, you tripping. So here's the rule right now. I'm making it known right now in the pod. You can't go until I get there.
Okay.
That's it.
I never had the pizza.
Huh?
I never had the pizza there.
Oh, but you know of it.
I know of it, yeah.
Okay, but y'all cannot have it until I get there. And if y'all go before I get there and I find out, let me tell you.
Why are you always trying to rebuke us?
I pray that the Lord give you halitosis for 2 weeks. Okay. I pray that your breath stinks so bad for 2 weeks you gotta stay in the house, and it's like you're gonna be lying to people telling you got COVID again. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, if y'all go before I get there, it's gonna be a problem. But now Matchbox, I love Matchbox Pizza. My brother got me hooked on it. He loves Matchbox Pizza, and so
I gotta Google it now.
Yeah, him, and my niece, we go every time. And then, depending on how long I'm there, we go a few times. It's great. I love it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I gotta try it.
Matchbox
Okay.
Pizza.
All right. Now, if
We waiting for you.
We waiting. We waiting.
If y'all go up, I promise. No, like for real. I'm definitely gonna let you guys know when I'm coming and all that good stuff. But man, I appreciate the invitation to be on. It means a lot to me, especially in the season in which that I'm in right now. It just means a lot to me, and I can't even articulate in words how much it means to me. So thank you.
We appreciate you for coming through.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No problem at all.
Awesome.
All right.
How can the people find you on Instagram, all that stuff?
I ain't hard to find. That's what you gotta say. But no,
right on Tubi.
Right on Tubi. We got two new movies coming out. I got scenes in. I play an attorney in one. Then I play this dude. I got engaged in the other one.
Okay.
That's dope.
In the movie.
No.
In the movie. I said in the movie, and we ain't talking about okay. But no, I got engaged in the other one. But you can find me Adrian Davis now on Instagram. Adrian Davis now on all platforms. Just Instagram. I'm on TikTok a little bit. I try to do a little.
You on TikTok?
A little bit. I like now. TikTok is different content for me because I just like to have fun on TikTok. Like
same.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, I gotta follow you on TikTok.
Yeah. So like I just get on there and I got like 6 videos I ain't put up yet, but I'm gonna start just releasing them because I told you I love music, so I love to lip sync to music.
Okay.
But here's the thing: what I try to highlight songs that we didn't pay attention to, like the lyrics, and you like, wait a minute, they say you're gonna do that, like, wait a minute, what? That's really a stalker line. So like stuff like that. Like so yeah, I'm on TikTok a little bit, but mainly Instagram. I'm using on Instagram quite a bit. And but yeah, Adrian Davis now. And the reason why it is Adrian Davis now is because I believe that I'm not who I was, and I'm not all the way who I'm gonna be. All I have is right now.
Love that.
Right now.
So I'm Adrian Davis now. And then also people always ask the question like, man, you always got your hand in this. You got your hand in this. You got your hand in this. What you doing now? Like, so Adrian Davis now.
I love that. That's cute.
Yeah, that is cute.
All I have is now.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate
thank you so much.
And your time.
Thank
you.
This has been amazing.
Matchbox.
And maybe karaoke.
Huh?
I said maybe karaoke.
Oh, come on.
It's given.
Sign me up.
It's given.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Okay, that sounds like your lane. So we'll do pizza and karaoke.
And brunch.
And then brunch.
Yeah.
Sign. The deal has been signed now. Like y'all ain't got no choice. And if y'all renege, I'm gonna do a podcast called I Wish I Was a Twin. And all I'm gonna do is talk about y'all every episode of how y'all let me down.
No, you gotta just send us the dates because we gotta make sure we in town that weekend.
Okay, I'm gonna send y'all the date. So I should know for sure by next week. So I'm on, like they'll have my plane ticket and stuff situated.
Okay.
And so as soon as I know, as soon as those plane tickets are purchased, I'm letting y'all know, and y'all y'all make sure y'all there.
Okay,
Period.
we'll be there.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.